Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. And as I told in my previous video that I'll make another video on Antony and Cleopatra. So here it is. And this play is more interesting than Julius Caesar. But I'll also give link of Julius Caesar in the description box. And guys, please watch that video also. And you will understand both the plays very clearly. As well as the Roman history too. Okay, now let's get started. So, Antony and Cleopatra is one of the most famous plays of William Shakespeare. It was published in the year 1623. This is a tragic play, and setting of this play is in Rome and Egypt, and the time period is around 31st BC. But before going to video, I'd like to disclose a character named Octavius. Octavius and Antony are the leaders in Rome, but this time Antony was with Cleopatra in Egypt, and Octavius was an adopted son of Julius Caesar. Now the play begins when Antony was in Egypt with Cleopatra in romantic mood, where a soldier is thinking that how Antony is being weaker in love of Cleopatra day by day. Then Cleopatra asked to Antony that how much you love me. Then Antony replied that I cannot count it. It is infinite. Means, in short, he loves her more than anything else in his life. Okay. Meanwhile, a messenger comes from Rome, but Antony refused to listen him in anything he said, and this time didn't care about Rome. He only cares Cleopatra, and they both went away. Actually, this messenger was sent by Octavius, but Antony behaved very disrespectfully to him as well as with Octavius too. After some time, a messenger came to Antony and revealed that Fulvia, Antony's wife, announced battle with Octavius, and that you have already lost a territory in Asia. He also said that all this happened because you forgot your duty towards Rome. You are just enjoying your love life with Cleopatra. And soon after this, Antony again receives a news, very bad news, that Fulvia is now dead. And this news was very heart-rendering for Antony, and he then decides to go to Rome again. Okay? And then scene shifts to Rome, where Pompey the Great, who was defeated by Julius Caesar, now his son, Sextus Pompey, becomes the great enemy of Octavius and Antony both. He wanted to take revenge of his father's death. On the other hand, Lepidus was talking to Octavius that how Antony is being womanized in love with Cleopatra. There Antony went to Rome and Cleopatra started missing him in Egypt. Then she receives a letter. After some time, Cleopatra receives a letter from Antony in which she found a pearl kind of stone. She kisses that and decides she would daily write a letter to Antony. Now scene shifts to Italy, where Sextus Pompey was talking with his leader or commander that if Antony meet Octavius, then it will be very dangerous for us to attack on Rome. We cannot then attack on Rome because their power will increase. They will be stronger when Antony and Octavius meet together. And there at Rome, Antony had a conflict with Octavius. But soon they calmed down, and Agrippa, one of commanders from Octavius' side, gives a suggestion that Fulvia is now dead. What if Antony would get married to Octavia? Octavia was Octavia's sister. Please don't get confused here, okay? This will make the relationship between Antony and Octavius very stronger if Antony would get married to Octavia. They didn't care about Cleopatra and get them married. Means Antony and Octavia got married this time. And there, sad Cleopatra sent Alexis to confirm the news and also asked that Octavia is beautiful or not. She wanted to know this. And there in Italy, Pompey, who was again and again attacking on Rome, but now Pompey converted this battle into agreement on the boat itself. And after this agreement, they drank, and Minos at that point of time, Minos was from Pompey side. So Minos at that point of time wanted to take advantage of the situation and asked Pompey, what if I would kill Octavius this time itself? But Pompey denied to do so. And there Antony and Octavia went to Athens. And Cleopatra was happy knowing that Octavia is not that much beautiful. She was happy, okay? And there Antony said to Octavia that Octavius is not behaving well with him. Then Octavia said that she would talk to Octavius to not do so, to not behave like this. After a few days, Octavius and Pompey again fought with each other, and Pompey was defeated in this fight. And then fight began between Octavius and Antony. And there Octavia went to Octavius to ask for forgiveness for Antony, that please forgive him, don't behave like this to Antony. But Antony went to Egypt, and with Cleopatra he started planning war against Octavius. Then Antony and Octavius started fighting at the sea. They announced the fight at the sea, and they started fighting. But no one wins in that battle, and Cleopatra silently goes away from that battle itself, or back off from that battle. And Antony saw her and followed her. But later Antony feels so much guilty by doing this, that he left the battle in the middle, and then Antony was furious at Cleopatra. Why? Because only due to Cleopatra he did so. He left the battle in the middle. So he was very much furious at Cleopatra. And then Antony thinks that now he left no way. Then he should surrender in front of Octavius. He was thinking that he should surrender in front of Octavius. For this, he sent one of his ambassadors to talk about it. There, Octavius refused to pity on Antony, and instead he said he can forgive Cleopatra if she hands over Antony to him. After knowing this message, Antony decides to fight with Octavius. He said to his army that drink this night as much as you can, because tomorrow we have to fight. The next morning, Antony kisses Cleopatra, and when he was about to go to battlefield, he received a news that Anobarbus was from Antony's side, left Antony and joins Octavius. He refused to fight from Antony's side, now he joins Octavius. And in the war, Agrippa had to withdraw his army, means Agrippa from Octavius' side now backs off, which confirms Antony's first win, which he celebrates in Alexandria with Cleopatra. And in the next round of war, Antony's army withdrew, means back off, due to Cleopatra. Now Antony becomes extremely furious on Cleopatra and says, "You cheated me." Cleopatra tries to make him understand, but Antony was very sad. Then Cleopatra was suggested that she should lock herself in the tomb, and they would spread a rumor of your death to Antony. And when Antony would listen this rumor, he would forgive you and he will come to meet you. But something happened very crazy here. When Antony came to know about it, he said Eros to kill him. He was very sad and he said Eros to kill him. But Eros killed himself instead of killing Antony. Then Antony started hurting himself. He made so many cuts on his body and was about to death. But meanwhile, Cleopatra's servants came and said that Cleopatra is alive. Why are you doing so? Cleopatra is alive. She is not dead right now. It was just a rumor to get your attention. Then they bring Antony to Cleopatra's tomb, and there Cleopatra feels so guilty, so sorry for him. Before death, Antony said to Cleopatra that save yourself from Octavius. Cleopatra said, I would prefer death instead of being slave. Yes. And then Antony dies. After that, Cleopatra orders her servant to bring the most beautiful cloth of her. She wants to look very beautiful, most beautiful in her last breath. Means at the time of her death, she wants to look very beautiful. and also asked the most poisonous snake. Then she kisses her servant and bites herself by the snake and died. Later, her servants also died by the snake's bite itself. And at last, Octavius saw this and felt so sad and sorry for this and gave huge respect to their funeral. Means Octavius gave felt so guilty at last, and he gave respect to their funeral, Antony and Cleopatra's funeral. Although he said Antony to surrender and finish this battle, but Antony was dead at that point of time, actually. At last, and the story ends here. I hope you like it, and if you like it, please subscribe it. I'm going to meet you with another video, another play by William Shakespeare, and this. Bye. Keep loving literature.